So we have not unlocked because we've actually had it a really long time ago, and it's been played. And Gaz and I saw a rough idea of how Mr. Media went, or Mrs. Media. I'm not sure. We can't
Well, I
discriminate.
mean, from recent information we've gotten, it's either both or neither, right?
That's right. Thank you. Was it Iron One or Dwarf? No, it was Dwarf, wasn't
Dwarf,
it?
dwarf. Yeah, he
Yeah,
came in with the save. Yep.
yeah. That's a whole other conversation. that's the
Join the
upcoming
Discord
year.
if you'd like to catch up on the Savas gender and reproduction cycle.
Yeah, yeah. It's fascinating. We haven't got an answer yet, but you'll find out. But I have decided I'm going to lock in the media, and I've had a look at. I had a brief rundown of some of the cards, but I wanted to have more of a discussion about how it kind of works with you guys, and see whether or not he can see something that maybe I can't, and help guide me towards fire schlonging our way into the next winter.
Well, from what we're like from watching Phil do it, it's just like schlongs and explosions everywhere, right? Like that's
Yeah,
basically how. What? Yeah, cool. So
from
it should
memory.
be. Yeah, it should be fine. But
Yeah,
look, it will be really interesting though because we saw it from Phil's side, and we I think we've mentioned this before. We don't really look through other people's cards unless they show
no,
you a particular card or there's a really infamous card that they keep playing. So it's funny because you just see them do things, and so we kind of have this idea about how this character is going to play,
yeah,
but no idea what the cards say.
no.
So it's going to be like, oh, that's that thing that he was doing. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Or hey, this seems really good. Why did he never do this?
Yeah. Or this is the one I remember him doing, but it does say loss, and I don't know if he lost this card. I don't know if he was aware of that.
We
So
won't. We
it'll
won't
be
be doing this. This is not a throw for shade at Phil unboxing or kind of review. It's just to work out how Daddy's going to make the most out of being a fire dude.
yeah. And the best
Flame
part is
on.
the mini's already painted, which is great.
That's true, actually. It is, and
We don't have to do that.
I was quite proud of this one. So,
Yeah, absolutely. It was in the Gloomhaven contest, right?
oh yeah, that's right. It was. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
that's right. Cool. Anyway, let's
So
get started.
all right. So it's a Savas, all right, Pyro class. The only thing I'm going to point out here, complexity is 3. I don't remember whether or not Phil actually mentioned that with its complexity. So, yep, that's the same currently as the Shackles that I just recently played. Elemental affinities are fire and grass. This is really important because Mark uses grass.
Mm. Yep, an
So,
overlap.
yeah, so that's Mark says he uses it a lot, and can anyone make it? So this is really cool that I can actually be that person to help fuel his grass habit, and he can fuel mine
We've
because I use it as well.
we've actually managed to play this long and almost have zero synergies with any of our elements across any
Mm,
characters. It
mm,
always seems to be two that don't use them, and the other two are using complete opposite.
hmm And I think
So,
I spoke to you recently. I was like, who's Earth? We don't know. This is before we unlocked Fierce. It's like who's Earth? Totally
yep,
forgot about this guy
yep, yep.
and Bone Shaper as well. Um, Medium health. So I keep saying drifter health.
Drift to
It's
health.
definitely not drifter health. Drifter health refers to 20 max, not the actual drifter. All right. So if I mention medium health and drifter health, it's really medium health. The hazardous terrain chart I've already seen on the snowflake. It's identical.
Yep.
What I wanted to point out to you. Do you remember when Phil was playing and going through some of his cards? He had persistent abilities or persistent buffs that went on the card that were negative for him,
Yep.
and we barely saw too many of them. Um, what I didn't realize is that on the third paragraph of the actual board here, it says your mini abilities with persistent bonuses. You can actually use them, you get rid of them for on arrest, which is really cool. So towards the end of that, it says you other characters can get rid of persistent cards whenever they want, discard them,
Mm.
right? But if they're lost, they go into the lost pile. Discard goes into discard. But you can only do so for cards with mandatory persistent bonuses at the start of your rests,
Okay.
which I didn't know.
So most classes can just drop a persistent off whenever they want. You
Yep.
can only do it when you're resting.
Yes.
So if it's
That's
really good, but it's booking you hard, you can't just be like, I don't want to do that anymore.
I'm pretty sure most of the persistence anyway aren't they're mostly seen as negative. But you can actually, yeah, drop them off. It's like do this awesome thing like move lots, but at the start of each turn you're gonna take a damage.
Yep.
So if I play that right before I know I'm gonna rest, that's the best time to play it. Because
Okay.
then I can drop it off and I don't take the ticking damage for the subsequent rounds.
Ah, I see. Okay, it's a timing thing. Like get a really
Yeah,
big bonus, but then okay, yep, I see it.
yeah.
I see.
So that's a way of speeding it up. All right.
Cool.
I'm not going to look at the actual perk sheet or anything like that just yet. Let's jump into
Oh,
some of
there's
the
a really,
cards.
really important one that you need to look at that you're getting first. No, it is. It
Don't
is.
know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is that a rule? Like, do I force you to pick any perks? No, I don't. Did I ask you to pick? There's a really important shields perk that you haven't picked yet.
because I have got it now and it's garbage. I haven't used it. Well, pretty sure we made Phil get that one, right? Like we're like, you're saving your perks until you can afford that.
The thing is, Phil, if you go back to the podcast earlier, when he was playing the media at the start and getting his actual perks and battle goals, Mark fucked his battle goal really badly. And he just cracked it and was like, you know what, I'm not going to get the 3 perker now because of, you're slowing me down kind of thing. So yeah, look,
All right.
he did, but it was reluctant.
All right. Well, we'll see how we go then.
Oh, okay. So I guess you're not squeezing the perk out of me now.
No, well, I mean, we'll see how we go because I think I've done all the convincing I can do now. When you create it and you start with about 5 perks, I guess we'll see what you pick.
Damage perks. So look at the level 1 cards now. We got Cloud of Ash. So designate a hex containing an obstacle tile. So pick an obstacle, right? Within 4 range. Nice. Destroy the tile to perform an attack 1 targeting all adjacent enemies and push 1 and muddle. Perform the attacks as if you were occupying the designated hex. Okay. All I'm seeing from this is you get to destroy the obstacle, which is pretty cool. The attack looks fairly mediocre, like really hot garbage, but and you get a slight push in there and a model. Makes grass though and an XP. So
Yeah, I mean, you can get range out of it, right? Because it's range 4. The obstacles within range 4, and then the attack is from the hex. So, that's decent range, and also you can kind of hit things that are hiding behind or, stuck behind things. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Actually, that combined with a power potion where it amplifies all your attacks, that becomes 2 damage. Yay!
Yeah,
Awesome to
it is
everything.
also the first level 1 card. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if this was absolutely bonkers, then we'd be in for a wild ride, right? Like,
Yeah. Okay. 23 initiative is pretty good. It's not like amazing,
is
but
that
it's
birds?
pretty
That's
good.
birds, right?
No, it's your birds.
Oh,
It's your
my
idea of
birds.
what birds is. 3 movement, replace 1 or 2 adjacent 1 hex hazardous terrain tiles in unoccupied hexes. Okay, so you swap out 1 or 2 has tiles for obstacles. So that's where you do the switcheroo.
Oh,
And if you
can
do
you
that,
put
you gain
obstacles
grass.
down? Have you got obstacles?
Via that. I don't know
Oh,
if there's
okay.
other cards that do it. I've only scanned them briefly. But yeah, you get to replace. Yeah, that could be really cool for amazing purposes, I guess. For our trap. Oh, wait, we don't have one. Okay, cool. So yeah. Cloud of Ash, yeah. Sure. We'll see how that goes. It makes grass, so Mark might force me to play it. And my actual name is Ash, so there you go. Cooling.
Proud of you.
Cooling. Replace one hex hazardous terrain tile and an unoccupied hex within 4 with 1 hex obstacle tile. Okay, so the same thing. I guess thematically you're cooling down the lava into a brick.
And
All
it
enemies
hurts
adjacent.
everyone.
Yeah. All enemies adjacent to that tile suffers too. That's pretty good. It's pure damage as well. Yeah, okay.
Well,
hoping-
interestingly, our pure damage is gonna drop off massively with the shackles gone.
True.
Like, I think we probably have underestimated how often you are able just to pick things and go, "You're dead." I'll deal with that. It's fine. It's
That's a
dead.
good point. Mark does a little bit. But yeah, it's a big drop off because it's actually been something that we've like, don't worry about that, I'll blow it up kind of thing. So yeah, 2 damage, pure damage is gonna really make a difference. Yeah. So grass. It's another grass maker with XP. Heal 5 to myself. And this is one of those mandatory persistence. On your next 3 moves, -1 to your movement.
Okay, so this being a persistent card, if you play this on turn 1, then your next 3 move abilities, because you can't skip it. It's not just next 3 turns. It's next 3 times you move, right?
Yes.
You get -1, yeah? If you were to do this just before a rest, you
Yeah.
could choose at the start of your... Because it said start, didn't it? Start of the rest
Yes.
cycle. So that would mean that it would be discarded
Yep.
and go back into your hand as a possibility for either like discarding, burning's the wrong word, losing or coming back in your hand, right?
Yeah. I'd say
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
so. So yeah, another one that's playing with obstacles. That's fine. Eruption. Create a 1 hex obstacle tile. So yes, that one's just purely make one in an empty hex within range 5. And then create 1 hex hazardous terrain tiles in all occupied featureless hexes adjacent to the obstacle. The figures in those hexes suffer 4 damage. That's a double element loss card with 2 XP. It's not too bad.
It's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's Phil. I can't believe that feels like big explosion, and it's level 1.
Yeah, that's a not a bad level 1 card actually. And actually
Yeah.
what's really good about that actually is it's an attack bottom as well, which I have not seen except for my drifter had 1, I think.
Yeah.
And that was forever ago. That's nice.
Yeah, and that actually scales quite well. I mean, because even though it's 4 damage, 4 pure damage is good still. Like, it's usually gonna stay relevant because shields don't get in the way. So,
Mm,
yeah, that's interesting for a level 1 card.
yeah. I think it'd be quite relatively easy to get that off and land at least 3 targets.
Yeah.
With that one there. So yeah, I think that'll be good XP burn at the end. Flowing Fire. Wow, feels Schlong is slightly smaller than I remember. I thought it was a 4 hex Schlong. Never mind. I scrolled down to see the other ones, but there's no bigger Schlong, unfortunately. So yeah, the Snowflake Schlong is so much bigger. Did not realize. Flowing Fire, 2 damage, attack 2, not at range, which is where we've got to stand where we are, which I haven't actually had too many of those, actually, not since the Drifter, again. Create hazardous terrain if I burn fire in each empty red hex of the attack ability. Okay, 1 XP. Okay, so that's not bad. Looks like it kind of looks like I need to do positionals as well with the banner spiel. All right, we can just meet spin. Is that the word?
Meat spin.
No, not meat spin. The spit roast. That's the one.
Oh, that's not. This is what happens when we film during the week and we're both really tired. It
Yeah.
goes off the rails. All right.
Yeah. So mini Shlong, yeah, seems relatively easy. I can't really see a world where I'm going to be able to line that up too often when 3 people are standing in a line, but you never know.
But the thing is with that, it's not so much I think about hitting 3 targets. It's about having fire up so you can create 3 hazardous terrain. That seems to be the biggest thing. 'Cause
Oh,
it
yes,
hits that
yes.
regardless, right? Like they're gonna be
Yep.
placed. So
It's annoying because the Shackles makes a lot of fire. So now I've got to make my own fire again. It's really just not okay.
no.
20 initiative, nice. I was looking back at the previous ones, 75 and 47 are 75 is okay. 47 is super like mid crap.
Mm.
Move 6, which is nuts on a non-burn. Now and at the start of your next 2 turns, so that's 3 turns worth, suffer 1 damage.
Yep.
As a mandatory persistent. Again, yeah, you could use that towards the end of a cycle. I can just see, yeah, there will be turns that I'll be on to use this effectively, and other turns where I need to get there and bugger it. I'll just take 3 damage worth over
Yeah.
the next couple of things.
But I mean, it kind of is a good combo in that the top is gonna be useful most of the time, especially if you've got fire up. And then the bottom, once it becomes no longer relevant to throw that out, you've got a really good card there for just, like moving across the room, escape scenarios, which we seem to get heaps of lately, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Igneous. Where's Mark? I need Mark.
Yeah, let's go with
Path.
Igneous.
Ipath.
Path. Ipath.
Designate a featureless hex within range 4. Create 1 hex hazardous terrain tiles in that hex and all featureless hexes on a direct path to it. Okay, we've seen this. It's this curvy Schlong where it kind of figures occupying hexes with the created tiles suffer 3 damage and gain 1 XP for each figure damaged. That's a nice little one as well. I was about to say no XP with that one. That's a bit weird, but no, it's built into it. Just depends on how much I can get out of it. Ooh, so you could actually use there's an item that increases range. I think it's the triangle hat. Is that a thing?
Pirate hat?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Does that
shard
increase the
did as
range?
well. I think the shard that you had on your snowflake.
Yeah. Is that a number you can increase?
It says range, I guess.
Okay. Sure. Well, I'm sure someone will correct us if not.
Yeah,
But if not,
100% someone will.
that makes it better.
Yep.
Okay. Create fire as well. That is birds, by the way. That card right there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Every character I've had that has had a birds for some reason. The bottom is a move 1. If I burn fire, I get to add +1 to it. 1 XP. Create a 1/1 hex hazardous terrain tile in each featureless hex you leave during the movement. So that's the one that Phil wanted me to combine with birds to get the +2 move. Actually, I can see a world where I want the +1 boots now, potentially with that. It's a good initiative. I can see myself using that. That's a great way of getting hazardous down as well. Yeah, I rate it.
Yep.
Lava Bomb, it's attack 2, range 3, really clean. Create 1 hex hazardous terrain tile in the featureless hex occupied by the target. Nice and easy. It's a fire generator. I can see that being a nice staple at the beginning. Relatively shit initiative. And a move 4 down the bottom. Yeah, I think that's a good staple. Nice and
Yep.
clean, and no, nice little engine building card there. Liquid Stone, we got attack 3, push 2. All right, so that's okay. So I've just noticed there's a lot of melee cards, including the Cloud of Ash, which is melee from ranged. Lava Bomb was the only ranged one I've seen, actual ranged one I've seen so far.
Yeah,
Because
remember
Liquid,
this is Phil was like, "I'm a frontline, I'm a frontline." He kept going in and then, like, doing a thing and then getting booked.
yep,
Yep.
that's right. I will get booked. Good thing we got a healer. Liquid Stone. So attack 3, push 2. Yeah, okay. That's a way to, yeah, obviously take advantage of the hazardous terrain that I'll be making,
Mhm.
which no one else really cares about. And then 28 initiative, yeah, it's all right. Move 3, push 1 within range 1. Okay. That's 1 target then, I assume. And then, yeah, eat grass to make it a push 3. Okay. Yeah, not like the most exciting thing in the world, but I don't mind on attack 3 this early. Speaking of which, melted armor. Attack 3, add +1 and pierce 3, and gain 1 XP if the target is occupying hazardous terrain. Okay. That
That's cool.
seems fairly easy to get off, not too difficult. I'm almost certain Phil has enchanted this card. That's the card I remember now. He's
Oh,
plus
really?
1. Yeah, he's +1 that, I
So it's
think.
attack 4?
Yes, attack 5.
Ooh, attack 5?
If it's on hazardous terrain.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's spicy.
Mm. 62 initiative, garbage. And then all attacks targeting you add +1. On your next 3 attacks, add +1. Oh,
Okay.
I like it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Okay. So that would mean, let's say, flowing fire, for example, it would mean all 3 attacks are 3,
Correct.
right?
Yep,
Yeah. Okay. So there's a way you can fly
Cloud of
through it.
Ash. Cloud of Ash.
Uh,
There you go.
Yeah.
With a
Yeah.
power
Okay.
potion, that's attack 3 on all enemies now.
Oh, look at that synergy, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think it just like, after you play, if you do the bottom of melted armor, then
Mm.
that's where you just gotta make sure you don't get hit, right?
Yeah. So I assume it's up 4, but I decided because it's on my next 3 attacks, not that I choose, but every time I attack, it moves. That's the fastest way to get it off, right? Is to just keep
Yep.
attacking stuff so I don't keep getting +1. Like it. Quenched Rage. Push 3, and then double the hazard. Is it hazardous? The damage inflicted by any hazardous terrain the target moves through. Then, regardless of your line of sight, replace those hazardous terrain tokens with obstacle tiles of the same size. Bloody hell. Let's see for eat grass. Okay, and then an XP. Yeah, big push. I
Interesting.
guess. Yeah, I mean that could end up being a lot, especially if you can enhance that to be a plus another one. You're
Well,
doubling it, so that's 4 per hazardous terrain.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do a lot of damage there. Pretty
Mm,
niche though, but yeah.
super niche. 30 initiatives, bit better, not garbage, but bit better. On your next 3 attacks, add -1, then double the value of your following attack.
Okay, I
What?
don't think we ever saw this.
Oh
Okay.
no. Okay, so there's 4 spots. So the next 3 attacks are going to be -1, -1, -1, then double.
Yeah?
How else could it be read?
On your
Double
next
the
3
value
oh,
of your following
yes,
attack.
yes. Okay, yeah, okay, I see, I see. So the next 3 attacks do 3 less da yeah, okay, that makes sense,
Okay,
yep, and
so
then
how?
your 4th gets doubled.
So that's really interesting. So you could hit multiple times knowing that you're going to hit less on. So it's going to be -3, but then plus, let's say melted armor, for example.
Yep,
That's 10. All right.
yep,
If I can land that, it's 10.
and if you
And
can draw
plus the modifier.
yeah, that's it, plus the purple card, but get one of, do a feel special and, get a purple
Yeah.
card, and, now you're hitting for 20 damage on a level 1 card. It's busted.
I like it. I really like that. That's really interesting. You'd hate to, yeah, okay. You'd hate to sort of
Pull you
You'd
miss.
be building up to it. Well, there's that. No, you would 100% get
At
a
advantage.
strengthened pot or something. You'd have to. You'd hate to. That's like snowball, but double. I really like that. I will see what we can do with that. Under pressure, 3 damage, 3 attack, add +2 and gain 1 XP if the target is adjacent to at least 2 hexes with obstacles, objectives, or walls. Right. Okay. So there's another
Okay.
that's another thing, I guess, for the quenched rage, um, as a guaranteed 10. But I feel like that's quite easy to do, right? Obstacles. I mean, obviously, I create a lot of those.
Yeah.
Walls are easy.
Well, that's the thing. Anything against a wall is usually against 2 wall hexes,
Mm,
right? Just the way that it kind of lays out. So,
mm.
yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to get that off.
I like it, and I can play the David Bowie song when I'm playing that card.
That's you can. I look forward to that every time.
um, Initiative is very slow, so I like
Mm.
having that as a potential. And oh, we got a loot card. All adjacent enemies suffer 1 damage, and then loot 1.
Hey, there you go.
That's not too terrible. It's kind of terrible, but not too terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I find that loot cards are either going to be absolutely godlike, or if they're not that, they have to be terrible. And
Yep.
then create grass. Okay, cool. We got more grass creation. So yeah, I can definitely do that for Mark. It's not going to be too tight. In fact, I'm not seeing a crapload of grass consumers either. I've only just seen one
Nah.
so far.
'Cause that yeah, I think quenched rage seems very niche. Because
Yeah.
while the bottom seems good, you are hitting like a bit like more like a wet noodle for the first 3 hits, and you gotta line it up, and the top isn't great.
No. What's good about the bottom though? I've just noticed it's not a lost card, which is pretty cool.
Mm. Well, it seems like all these, persistence with negatives aren't lost cards.
Yeah. Other than the first 2 that we saw,
Well, that
the
wasn't the persistent ones, they were the eruption.
yeah well, you need a rest, right? I mean, lost. Never mind. Force of the Earth. Ah, so we're entering X territory.
Cool.
1 damage, range 3, pull 2, model. Okay, well, this is my only pull. So, yeah, I guess if you know you can't combine that with Quenched Rage. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. It's just a pull through. You can't double the hazard damage, is what I mean. You'd be that'll be if you got 2 hazards terrain, you're looking at a 5 damage plus modifier. Okay. Well,
Yep.
this is pure, so there's that. Unless they're flying. Um, Initiative 15 though is nice, really nice. That seems to be the fastest one I've seen so far. Destroy 1 adjacent obstacle tile. If you do, on the next 2 heals targeting you at +3. Ah, yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't seen a lot of heal cards.
Yeah, I mean, there's the heal 6, but, I mean, that's pretty good with, say, a heal banner that heals you every turn. Like, at the start of your turn, heal 4, and then at the
Yeah,
start of your
okay.
next turn, heal 4.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised at how late we've been going with your banner spear. That heal banner is still like doing work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't bring it last scenario, but, it's yeah, I think it does pretty well, so I won't bring it anymore.
Oh, okay. Um, Bastard. Metamorphic rock. It's a shield and retaliate. It is a permanent persistent. And they make
Oh.
grass. There we
Whoa.
go. So I want to get
Okay.
hit. Yeah.
Hang on. Hang on. This what? Let's just take a break for a second. Just take a quick have a Kit Kat and just have a think about this. If you wanted to be a front liner and you're getting right in there and there was a chance you were gonna get punched in the head, right? Having a shield card retaliate's just a bonus, but having a permanent shield card
Yeah.
seems pretty good, doesn't it?
It does seem pretty good.
Like, really good.
I've actually forgotten
And in fact,
what.
we did no idea this existed because I'm pretty sure we'd never seen it on the previous media playthrough that we were witnessing.
No, I've only just looked at the hand size. So I'm like, what hand size is it again? It's 10, so it's 10 again. Like the shackles and banner
Yeah.
spear and all that, which seems to be quite normal now.
Mm.
We don't seem to get more than that unless you're a fist, then you get less.
And this
Um,
is the first persistent burn persistent we've seen, right? So it's
yes,
not like we're you're picking between like the shackles had the problem where you wanted at least one, if not two, and then if you're going to go into 3 territory, then you were going to burn out real quick, right? This is the first one we've seen that you know.
Yeah, it's true.
So
It's true.
interesting. Okay.
68 garbage, and then move the character token on one of your persistent abilities forward one space. Okay, so the movement one, quenched rage, the bottom. You can speed it up to that
Yep.
double. That's
For that
really
double.
good.
Mm.
So okay, it'd be hard. I'd be hard pressed to bring that for the top because that bottom is amazing. It's kind of like the drifters one, except the drifters they want to move them backwards. I want to move them forwards. Wildfire. Destroy one adjacent hazardous terrain tile. If you do, you know what? The meteor is just a giant shovel. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah.
It's just one big shovel. Destroy one hazardous terrain tile. If you do, adjacent, your next 3 attacks add wound, poison, and create fire. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It's
So this saying that in order to activate the bottom, right, which is those, not the bottom, sorry, that's the wrong language. In order to activate like those 3, add wound, poison, and create fire, you
yeah,
need to destroy an adjacent hazardous terrain. So that's like
yes.
the cost of playing the card. Like you
To play the card.
play
Yeah.
the card, destroy that terrain, and now this is active.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Which isn't too bad. And then you it just goes into your discard and comes back out again later.
Yep.
And do it all again. Having permanent in a way of getting permanent poison and all that is pretty interesting. And then move 4, bleed myself or wound myself, and then wound 2 targets within range 1. Okay. I like the move 4. I'm not sure
Yep.
about wounding myself. Bit funny about that. All right, level 2. We got Deep Fury. Attack 3. Add +1, push 2, and gain 1 XP if you are occupying hazardous terrain. I need the perk. Because I'm pretty sure I set myself on fire. So it's 4 damage, push 2. Yep. If you are occupying hazardous terrain, then perform 2 healing self. Okay. It's not too bad. Seems relatively easy to set up. Yeah, a lot of melee. 38 initiative, that's fine. And then heal 3 self on your next attack targeting an enemy occupying hazardous terrain. Double the value of that attack. Oh, there's another one.
Okay. Okay. Where was your other double?
Quenched Rage.
Ooh. So you can double.
No. I
Yes.
can double.
You can, because you just have to have quenched raged up. So you got to have that on the last one, and then play the bottom of Deep Fury, right?
Yeah,
Your
okay.
next attack targeting enemy occupying hazardous, double the value of the attack. So you can double, and
Yeah.
then do a fill special, which is a purple card,
Ugh.
right?
Yeah, okay.
And just win the game. I mean, look out,
And
Blink
then
Blade.
screw up that Algox Archer that was giving me grief.
Yeah.
Holy crap. It's worth 2 XP as well on the little circle thing.
But it is a
Which
burn, though.
I've never seen. It is. Yeah, okay. That's like last room boss kind of thing, right?
Yeah, okay. So that's only one attack. So one attack, double damage. Okay. If it's on hazardous terrain. Yep. Okay. That
Yes.
makes sense.
Yes.
Just before you go on to any of the other cards, real quick thoughts on the level 1 and level X cards.
It started off rough with that first card. I wasn't sure, and then but it kind of got better, and I like it. I really like it. Seeing all the obstacle usage and flowing fire. I'm really liking the sound of Quenched Rage. I want to see what I can do with that, especially with melted armor. Not so much liquid stone. Under pressure. That's really cool. It'll be really hard to create a 10 card deck with this, I think. Just because I find so many cards really interesting, and I'm really gonna have a first few runs trying to work out, what works and all of that. I'm also curious to see. I think it'll make Mark's life a lot better with all the grass. So I'm excited to see him get excited. Yeah, no, I like it. I think there's really good movement in some of them. The move 6 is nice. Move 4. I think there was 2 move 4s. Except when I hurt myself. Yeah, there's not a lot of real bung movement cards unless I use things like Quenched Rage or Force of the Earth or Under Pressure as a move to default. So I'm liking the look of it so far. I'm not 100% sure on the initiative spread. It does seem really all over the place. I suppose most characters kind of are, but they kind of, I don't know. That part I'm not too sure. It does look some are very nice and early with the 18s, 2023s. It's more the mid runs, which I'm used to having because the Shackles had a lot of those.
Mm.
It's not Blink Blade fast.
No, no. Well, I mean, no one is, right? It does seem a bit like you want to go late and go in so that you don't get hit. And
Mm,
then you've got cards like Flowing Fire, for example, because then you'll be up there. You play a 20, which is decent quick. And then you can Flowing Fire, and then you can use a movement on another card to get back out.
mm,
So I think that's probably, the alternative to going well, I'm going to go up and get hit, so I need to tank. It's trying to manage the initiative that way. Because other than, like you said, a few mids, they do either seem to be late or early,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
And having a look at where some of the early cards are, I think they do, yeah, they kind of do work with get in and get out.
Mm.
So,
I'm so far, yeah, very excited. We have to also think about our lineup. Bannerspear, Fist, usually frontlining. Blink Blade, obviously frontlining. It's going to be a fairly packed. I don't have a lot of ranged options, so it's going to be a fairly heavy frontlining kind of thing. I therefore will definitely get the perk, just because I'm a nice guy, and I think that would be the nice guy thing to do.
and it's got
Don't want
nothing
to
to
be
do with Deep Fury.
Where's Deep Fury? That one. It's 100% got something to do with Deep Fury. But yeah, nah, I think I'm looking forward to seeing how we go with that. The second level 2 card is Searing Smoke. Attack 2, targeting all adjacent enemies. Okay. Burn Fire, it becomes an attack 3. And then, of course, I don't know, Melted Armor with that becomes an attack 4, which is really cool. If it eat grass, it muddles everything. 2 XP. Interesting. Okay. Deep Fury is looking more fun, though. Like a lot more fun.
Hmm.
Move forward, jump on the bottom. Oh, jump. Is that what that is?
Yep. Yeah, that's what that symbol
Oh,
means. Yep.
that's cool. I can jump. All enemies move through a game muddle. I think Phil took that. That rings a bell.
Yeah, I feel like he did. I don't think we saw Deep Fury.
No.
Because, I mean, if we did, there would have been at least one instance where he did the double damage from that. And I don't think we ever saw it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, technically he's doing quadruple damage now, so he just didn't need to, I guess,
That's
with the
what I mean. We
media.
would have known, right? Because we would have
Mm.
been massive damage back then as well. So,
It is interesting at a high level media. Look, let's just say I get to level 6 with this, and he's still on the Blink Blade right now because I think he's 9 now. And he likes it so much he's probably gonna stay on it. Bosses with both the media and the Blink Blade is gonna potentially be even worse than they currently are.
cool, cool. All right. That's good to hear. All right. So we can complain more about that, right?
That's right. And then the only other card I'll go into is number 3. So level 3, we get Hardened Spike, attack 5. I like the look of that. Add +1 and gain XP if the target is occupying hazardous terrain. Quench Rage we double, and then of course Deep Fury we double. We always have to double.
That's it. That's it.
And
20
then on
damage.
a brittle target.
40 damage. And then you
The
pull your crit. That's 80 damage. Yep. There you go.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
That's the dream.
That's it. Now at the start of your next 2 turns, suffer 1 damage. Oh, that's the drawback to that card? Bloody hell!
Whoa,
All
hang on.
right.
No. Wait. So attack 5
Yeah.
+1 if it's in. So attack 6, basically.
Yeah.
Now and at the start of your next 2 turns. So you take 3 damage over
Yeah.
2 turns.
Yeah. That's fine. We got to heal it.
I know it's fine. I'm like, that's really good.
Oh yeah, it's really good. The banner even nullifies that, right? Just then and there. I'm not even looking at the next card. That card looks amazing. It goes at 80 though. 3 move, add +1 to your next attack this round, targeting an enemy adjacent to an obstacle. That's a bottom move attack.
Mm.
Oh no. It's adding to your next attack this round.
Yeah.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah. Imagine if that wasn't at the bottom of the card you wanted to use it on. Like,
We have to. Yeah. Oh, still with like melted armor and all of that. burn grass, it's a +4, adding +4 to your next attack, and then the train that we were talking about, the
Yeah,
double train.
the double, double, double.
That's really fun. I don't even want to look at the next one. Living magma. Now at the start of your next 2 turns, perform attack targeting one enemy adjacent to hazardous terrain. Pierce to wound. Make fire. That's
Yeah,
something
okay.
Phil did,
Yeah,
is it
he
not?
fine. All right. So what's this? So now at the start of your next 2 turns, you play it, right? And then you do it
Oh, you
then,
keep doing it.
and then you do it. Yeah. So this is one that I think we ended up bouncing around to work out how it worked. But you're doing an attack
Mm.
1, targeting everyone adjacent to the hazardous terrain
No, one
with
enemy adjacent.
oh, one enemy, sorry. Yeah, yeah, hazardous terrain with pierce and wound and creates fire.
Mm.
So that would mean that it creates fire each turn, right? Each time it ticks, because that create fire is in the
It's in the box.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's all right. 22 initiative. Move 1. Move 1 adjacent 1 hex hazardous terrain tile up to 2 hexes. If it enters any hex occupied by a figure, the figure suffers hazardous terrain damage.
Okay. I mean,
Uh,
Hardened Spike seems amazing.
uh, yeah, like a lot, like
Like
so
heaps
much,
amazing.
like way much. I'm trying to be excited about Living Magma, and someone's going to tell me, no, you combine that with blah blah blah. Hardened Spike just seems like, why wouldn't I? Nah, Hardened Spike all the way. Even for that bottom, I mean, the top's great, but I love the bottom,
Yeah.
especially if I
Yeah.
got grass up. If I don't have grass up, then I'll get grass with the top. Who knows?
But even with Hardened Spike, like playing that towards the end of a rest cycle, you've got heaps of hazardous terrain out. It's likely that something standing on hazardous terrain go late, right?
Mm,
Which you can with an 80. You move up, hit it, rest, then you
yeah,
take 1 damage.
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Mm.
Hardened Spike totally for the win. The last thing, I'm loving it. I really like the sound of a lot of that. It sounds really fun. It sounds a little bit more. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the brain burn that I used to get from the shackles and working out when the elements are up during the Dark Melody window, during the all that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to something that's a little bit more brain freeing. And this so far feels like it. Now I don't know if it's gonna be that way, but it feels it just on paper.
Well, this is really interesting because we've talked about this before. I think it might have just been us talking when we maybe were talking about the shackles or different classes, but it's like, where is the focus, right? So with your shackles, you will very much head down onto your cards, onto your status effects. Like all the focus was like in your tableau. It didn't really matter where the monsters were because you just had to move and make sure you could do your abilities, like every character. This character, everything's on the board. Like, you
It
don't
reminds me
really
of
care.
Snowflake in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you kind of have shifted back, yeah, you're right, to the Snowflake where you're like, all focus on board, and that's where the complexity will come, which
that's true.
in a sense, I feel matches your playstyle in games better because I think
All
you're
right.
better looking and assessing what's there rather than trying to figure out the hypothetical puzzle,
Got you.
and, so yeah, this looks, again, it does look a little bit like the Snowflake again, so I reckon you're
Mm,
gonna have a lot of fun and do really well with it.
yeah. No, thank you. That's very sweet of you.
It
To
will
say
also be
nice.
very interesting because reading through these cards, you've got a shade of kind of what Phil played, and it's gonna be
Yes.
really interesting because this is the first double up, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
It
so
is. It is our first
it's
double up.
yeah, it's gonna be cool to see it different, like,
Yes.
again, but different, and that's gonna be fascinating again just for our playthrough.
Well, I think Phil focused a lot more because of our lineup, because of we had Coral and we had Snowflake, that. I think he bought more into the hazardous terrain
Mm,
and making sure they were strong and getting them on the board and all of that. Whereas, it looks like you don't necessarily have to go deep down that path. You will still be doing it. You need to do it to get the bonuses of some of these things, but you're the only one really doing a lot of the pushing and pulling. I think
yeah.
Mark does a little bit of it, but yeah,
I've got
right
a
now
little bit, which I
actually.
haven't been using because there's nothing to push and pull them into.
Yeah,
But
okay.
yeah, I think that's the other thing though. You and Mark are going to have to work together to make sure you don't steal his spaces for the slip and slide terrain.
Yeah, it's true.
So
You would
yeah,
think
just
that.
again means you have to communicate, right?
Yeah. And we've been good at that. He's had the run for a little bit. Now he has to share. All right, very briefly, I'm just going to go down and let's look at some perks. So the 3 ticker, you and all allies are unaffected by hazardous terrain you create. It is a 3 ticker, which is super annoying, but it has to happen.
Absolutely
I
critical. Yep.
absolutely. Whenever you short rest, you may consume fire to perform wound, targeting one enemy, occupying or adjacent to hazardous terrain. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think it's worth a tick. Not yet. It's not urgent. What I'd find immediately urgent, based on some of the attacks that I'm planning on doing, is thinning out that deck, and
Yep.
I think that's the major thing. Whenever you long rest, you may destroy one adjacent obstacle to gain ward. Yeah, okay.
So I see the world that works in, and right is when we've been talking about using these abilities before you rest, moving in, doing like whatever that card was called that you do the 5+1 damage, hitting something, and then long resting. And if you're near an obstacle, right, then you kind of you protect yourself a bit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
true.
it's what's interesting though is you've got two, one's for long rest and one's for short rests. I
Mm,
haven't seen that before. I've seen focus on one, but not focus on both.
yeah. You're right. I'm trying to remember the shackles now and also the thingy. I know that, yeah, I didn't really pick a lot of them. Ignore scenario effects. We love that. And then, yeah, okay. We got replacing minus ones, remove 2 minus ones. Oh, I get to remove the minus 2.
Hey, there you go.
That's nice. Replace 2+1s with 2+2s. Oh, there's going to be a few 2+2s floating around the deck.
You're gonna have a few +1s in there though, because you're only
Uh,
removing 2 from the one up the top, and then 2 from the, there's only 5, I think, so, yeah.
yeah, but +1s are green, guys. We like them.
I know
I know
+1s.
you haven't seen too many of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, let's settle down,
Actually,
settle down.
we'll save that for the pod. But yeah, you have lately, like crazy amounts. Last two things: masteries. Create or destroy at least one obstacle or hazardous terrain tile each round. That doesn't feel too
That sounds
hard.
easy. Just do it on a
Yeah.
boss scenario that lasts 3 turns, and then done.
Oh, easy. We got Phil. Um, move enemies through 6 different hexes of hazardous terrain you created in one turn. I've not seen any cards that would really assist. There's a push 3. Yeah, that's the hard one. Surely. No,
Um,
I don't know. I'm not very good at masteries, but that finally looks like I've got another character where I can achieve my second overall in the campaign mastery. So
I
I look forward
mean,
to getting that.
there was 6, right? It was make it move through 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, oh, no, they're both pushes, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, you need a
Yeah.
pull. There was a pull, wasn't there? I thought we saw a pull.
There is a pool. Actually, you're right. It's a pool 2. I'm looking at the bottom of Liquid Stone as well. If I
Yeah,
have grass up, I can do a push 3.
yep,
Pull
and then
2,
the top.
push 3.
Yeah. Anyway,
Um,
I'm sure you can
and
figure
there's
it out.
well, I think there's pushes in the perk deck as well. No, yes, replace 2 plus zeros with 2 push 2. Um, that symbol.
And actually, it just says move enemies through. It doesn't say move the same enemy through.
Yeah. How am I gonna
Yes.
AoE? I don't think I've got much AoE push.
But I mean, what that means is that if you have lots of hazardous terrain out, like you can focus on different enemies, right? I mean, the top of Quenched Rage is a push 3, and then the bottom of Liquid Stone is essentially a push 3 with grass. That's push 6 on that's push 3 on 2 targets. All you got to do is have it lined up so that you push them through hazardous terrain. Because I
Yeah,
don't
very
think it
clever.
says different, right? Move
No,
enemies through 6 different hexes. Yeah, it is different. Yeah, okay, cool. So you got to create 6 and then push them through
ah,
6. Yeah.
yeah, cool. All
So
right. I guess I
interesting.
will get right onto that.
Yep.
No, very excited. Very excited to play it, and I think I'll have a lot of fun with it. I can't see a world where it'll be bad. Not one. So yeah,
Cool.
we'll see how that goes when we catch up on Monday. Yeah, thanks for joining us for another, I guess, re-unboxing where we reboxed it to then unbox it and have our discussion. I look forward to doing this with your Banner Spear again when you play it again.
Yeah, I know. For shits and giggles, I'm gonna pick the same PQ. Because that
Okay.
way I can complain about the same thing. So the whole thing's familiar to me.
Yeah, okay. That sounds
Yeah.
great. All right,
Cool.
perfect. Well, we'll sign off there. Thanks very much. And
Thanks
yeah,
a
we'll
lot.
catch you around.